Okay, let's speak to Janet Fuller-Love. She's a British national who lives in the village of Calmurano, not far from the epicentre of the latest earthquake. Janet, I just want to say thank you for joining us. I understand that the aftershocks continue.
Yeah, there was one just a few seconds ago, and I just sort of explained that I might have to run if it's this big.
Okay, we appreciate that. We'll speak to you whilst we've got you then. When the quake hit, did you know
Yeah.
what to do?
Yes, because I mean, I've been in the we've been lived here a while and we're used to earthquakes, but I have to say I've never been in anything like that one. But we actually we've been living downstairs in a workshop area, so we had quick access out because we were forewarned. We watch a DUTCHSINSE, a YouTube channel forecast, who's very accurate, and we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
So where did you go to? I mean, where have the residents gone to?
Well, I mean, we're still living in our house, sort of, in the workshop, but we ran outside and just basically watched our house shaking and listened to buildings. We could hear buildings falling down around us, which is pretty scary.
And how are your neighbours and residents of Calmurano?
Everybody has this fear, paura, they call it, but we say don't be scared, be prepared. It's hard not to be scared. That's the motto of our forecaster, DUTCHSINSE, who, because of him, a lot of the people in the village knew this was coming. We went and talked to the mayor last night, forewarned. People knew they go and sleep in cars, or sleep where they can get out of the house quickly or easily, or you stand under a beam or a door. You avoid staircases and things like that.
So what are you going to be doing tonight then as you settle down for the night?
Hoping there's not another one. We've been so busy shoring up the front of our house today. We parked our digger up against it to try and keep the front wall attached to the house. It's that bad. And we've been so busy doing that we haven't eaten. So in a minute, when I finish with you, I'm going to go and have a steak and a beer and celebrate the fact that I'm still alive.
Salute. You obviously know what you're doing, but have you seen evidence of emergency workers in your village and in the surrounding area that's been affected by this quake?
Oh, very definitely. I mean, the civil protection are incredible. After a quake, they quite often prevent people going back in their homes. There's a huge gymnasium in our village. There are a lot of people sleeping there. There are something like 35, 40 families who are homeless. They're not allowed to return to their homes because they're too dangerous. They send land engineers to check. They make sure that you understand what to do in a quake. Everybody has a kit. We've got stuff in our car, water, medical supplies, change of clothes, because quite often you run outside, you get out of bed, you haven't got anything on necessarily. So, you have to be prepared for it.
So, apart from the preparedness, what's the mood like at the moment?
Everybody's still scared. And I was watching the forecast earlier, and Dutch says that there's a new wave coming in, so new wave of pressure coming in over the next 2-3 days. So we know we're not through with it yet. It does shred your nerves. It does shred your nerves, I have to say. I have never been so terrified. There's nothing you can do. Everything is out of your control. And being a control freak, I don't like that very much.
Well, Janet, if this is, this situation is not ideal for you and you know you're living in an earthquake zone, do you plan to stay there, or perhaps are you considering moving?
No, I'm going to stay. I mean, we have literally worked for 16 months on this house. We put everything into it. We've done it ourselves, not built it for us. New roof, new second floor. My heart's here. The country's beautiful. It's a kind of balance. One of the most beautiful places in the world, and yet also the most terrifying. When I look at those Apennine mountains this evening, it looks so calm and so beautiful. But my heart's here. I love it. I'm not going anywhere.
Janet, we appreciate that. Do stay safe. Our line was breaking up there, but have a lovely evening, and as I said, stay safe.
Thank you very much.
That's Janet Fuller-Love.
That was the Janet Fuller-Love BBC interview after the big Italy earthquake, where I issued the warning about a day, maybe 36 hours, 48 at the most, before the big one hit, the biggest earthquake in 40 years for the whole country of Italy. And there was a big, deep earthquake below Italy. And then I issued the warning, and then a day later it hit, and then she was on BBC. Gave me a shout out for the forecast and for warning the area. People went around and warned the people in the towns. They slept in their cars. They went and talked to the mayors of the nearby epicenter, where I warned in central Italy at Norcia. Now, the reason I'm showing this to you is because I just went looking for this, and check this out. Watch this. This is just shameful. Shameful. Let's go find the BBC interview. Here it is. It's on my channel. Well, wait. Why is it so low? Let's go play. Whoops. Whoops. And look down below. Let's go hit refresh on the good old comments here for the last newest first. 1 year ago. Says not viewable on my device. And I'm going to hit refresh again. And you know what? Let's get the URL here. Copy. And let's go open it in a different browser. Let's go open Microsoft, which I hardly ever use anymore. Let's just see. Surely it's just a browser problem. Right? Just Mozilla problem, right? Whoops. Whoops. Whoopsie. The old Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, get over here. Babality over at freaking YouTube blocking this. So why are they blocking it? Well, it's me getting a shout out on frickin' BBC for correct earthquake forecast. This is proof positive I'm being shut down and just completely censored. Completely. They're trying to hide it, guys. What more proof do you need? I'm putting this out as a video right now over on YouTube, just as this alone, on October 30th, 2016. It's basically, I mean, what? Several years ago, almost down to the week right now. So I'm just going to say it, man. I'm tired of being shut down, censored, and messed with when I got it right. Again, I issued the warning for Italy for the biggest earthquake in 40 years. It hit. I got a shout out on BBC for it. Now they shut me down. It's pathetic, actually. Press 1 in the chat room if you think it's a pathetic sign of total loss. Professionals in the New World Order for shutting me down and hiding this. And press 0 if you still support the frickin' professionals for some reason. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. I just went looking for it. And that's what I find? Dude. Desperate times. Desperate measures. And they are desperate, man. Who's they, right? It's the professionals. They all said it couldn't be done. They said earthquakes couldn't be forecast, and they came after me and called for my arrest. Literally, the USGS filed legal claims. Oh, it's shameful. Science scandal on the part of the professionals in the USGS and several professors. I could name them out, too. I could give you names. I'm not going to, but I could. So let's go upload this to YouTube. Show everybody what's going on. I'm going to put a link down below to Janet Fuller Love's video in the description. So you can go see the original. And she, she's still available for contact if you want to talk to her. Proof positive of censorship right there. Multiple browsers not allowing it to play, dude. Just on my channel, though, right? I mean, oh, wow. Now you see what I'm up against. This kind of level of censorship. We would call that hardcore soft censorship, if there is such a thing. Peace out.